What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Unsolicited podcast with Sam and Jordyn. Jordyn, it has been a very eventful weekend for us. How are you? How are you doing? How are you feeling?
I've never experienced post-concert depression the way that I have this in the days following the Eras tour. As you can probably hear, me and Sam, both of our voices are not yet 100%.
Yeah.
But no, I'm feeling good, ready to kind of get back in the swing of things. Yesterday, I still had like my wristband on. And everywhere I went, everyone was like, "Oh my God, Taylor, Taylor." And I was like, "Yes." And today I went out and I was like, "Oh my God, like these people don't know that I was just at the Eras tour. Like, how am I supposed to live knowing that every single person doesn't know that I was just at Taylor Swift?" I just want to talk about it with everyone. But
Did you get two different bands? Like, did you get a second one going into the second night?
Yes. And I was with my friend Robbie, who, like I said last episode, you guys are going to hear me talk about him all the time. And he's like a concert expert, like music is his thing. And he told me, keep the plastic part that you rip out.
And you put it back in.
Yes. So now I have them and they're not blinking. And he was like, now they'll last for like ever. And I was like, oh my God. So I did that. But then for the second night, to be on the floor, you got like a floor access band just so they knew like no one could just walk out there.
Right.
So I had that and it's a Taylor Swift concert. And so I was wearing that around everywhere and everyone was like, "Oh my God." And I was like, "I'm never going to take it off." Then I showered and it got soggy and I was like, "I have to."
Yeah. Yeah, I only went one night, obviously, but it was such an experience. Like, and I'm like not even saying that when I say this is the best concert that I've ever attended. The production value of this show was astronomical.
Yes.
Like, I was like, every single time something happened, I was like, oh my God. And like, I knew most of things that were going to happen because I've been seeing TikToks and like videos from other shows, and she's basically doing the same thing over and over again. But oh my God, like seeing it in real life, I was like, this is absolutely insane. It was just absolutely insane.
No, it was like severely overwhelming. Like I like just like being in her presence. I don't know. Like I like kept like I was like, "Oh my God, like she's right there." Like it was insane. And I think she did such a good job. The production quality, amazing. This woman was put on this earth to perform. Like
Absolutely.
like she's one of those very few, like Lady Gaga, Beyonce. Like there is a difference in singers and performers. Like
Absolutely.
so many people can sing well, but like for this small group of like artists to be able to perform the way that she does, like it took my breath away. And like the way it was such a big stage and obviously such a big, I mean, it's the stadium tour, like these are such big arenas.
Yeah.
And the way she like looks everywhere and like makes sure that every part of the audience like feels included. Like I was just like, you are amazing. Like
Amazing. And I think it's so funny now. Like there's this meme now with her yelling at the security guard, and like we were there.
yes.
I did not know it was, I don't know about you, but you were on the other side of that. But I did not know what was going on until I looked on TikTok afterwards.
I had no idea. And that happened. So that was the night I was on the floor and it was the complete opposite side of the stage. So like I had no idea what was going on. And it was during Bad Blood.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there and we made friends with the people behind us and the people in front of us. And we all heard her yelling and we like all looked at each other and we were like, "Oh, it's Bad Blood. Like she's just doing a skit."
That's what I thought. I thought she was like ad-libbing the song.
Yes, because she yelled in tune, fit it perfectly into like the breaks of the song. I was like, oh, like she's just like doing something for Bad Blood. But I thought it was weird because I was there the night before and that obviously didn't happen.
Yeah, she didn't do that.
So I was like interesting. And then I saw all the videos after. And TikTok, the algorithm is such a beautiful thing.
So you saw the video of like the actual girl?
Yes. Oh my God. I saw up to the point, I saw a video of the security guard literally getting escorted out of
Yeah.
I was like, this, and like it happened in like bits and pieces. Like I found out that something actually happened. Then I found out what happened. Then I heard from the girl, and then I saw the video of the security guard. I was like, oh my God, now I have full picture.
I know. It was crazy though, because I even like when I heard her say like, "Hey, stop," I was like, "Huh?" And I
Yeah.
was trying to see because she was like leaning over the stage, and I was like, I don't really know what's going on, and like,
Yeah, I like could not see her at that point.
yeah,
So
on the
like you
yeah.
had the view of like we were like, what the hell is going on?
I have to say though, so like obviously you were down on the same night that we were there, obviously Saturday. You were down on the floor. I was on the mezzanine, but I was the first row on the mezzanine. So like I had like full bird's eye view of everything.
That's
And
perfect.
we were trying to text each other during this and it just was non-existent.
I was gonna
So
tell them.
I have to tell you, I saw you. I found you in the crowd. You were walking towards your seat because I knew that section 13 was to the left of me because I saw the little 13. And as a joke, I was with Erin and I was like, hey, if you see a girl with a jersey on with the number 0, like that's Jordyn. And she went, is that her? And we looked down and we saw you walking. I saw your little black skirt. I saw your DeAndre Swift jersey, and then I saw your hair down. I was like, that's her. Like that's Jordyn. And I was like, she definitely can't see or hear me, so I'm not gonna yell for her. But I was like, I found her. I found her. And that's when I texted you. And I was like, bitch, I see you. And then you were like, I'm in the bathroom. And I was like, I sent this text like 20 minutes ago.
That's why I was so confused because I was looking up for you. When I tell you, like, my boyfriend thought I was dead because so I saw the opening acts the first night I was there. So the second night, me and Robbie were like, we're just gonna take our time, like, and especially
Sure.
because the first night we were in a suite, so we had bathrooms, food, drinks, like there for free. Like it was the most one. Like I love having rich friends because that was the nuttiest experience of my entire life. Like I
Wild.
literally am making his dad a basket of like wine, cheese, and crackers because I was like, you gifted me like the best experience ever. And it was just insane. So I was so grateful for that. But yeah, so we were in the suite. And the next night we were like, okay, we're going to be on the floor. Like we don't want to go to the bathroom during the show.
Yep.
So we went and got drinks and like I got a hot dog, some pretzels and popcorn just to like put under my seat. So we didn't have to move throughout the whole thing. So we were getting down, but at that point, when the text did come through, I was in the bathroom. So I was like, "What do you mean you see me?"
Yeah.
But then I got on the floor, so we probably got down there at like 6:45ish, and the show starts. I can't remember what time it actually started, but like between 7:45 and 8. So I got down there at 6:45, did not leave my floor seats until it was over. So like 11:30, 11:45. I did not have service until I got into the parking lot at like midnight. Like
Yeah.
my phone literally at the top said SOS. Like,
SOS, yeah.
yeah, I was like, oh my God. So I literally, I just put it in airplane mode. I didn't talk to a
Same.
single person the entire
Same.
concert. I also was like, oh, I'm not going to record. I could not help it because
I mean, when you're there in those seats, it's hard not to do that.
right. I'm going to pull one up. I don't know if we're going to be able to like see it. But it was like, I was like in complete, like how intense something has to be for me to like be quiet. And I was just sitting there like in awe. And I was like, oh, like I sent a video to my dad because my dad roasted me when he found out how much I spent on floor seats. And I was like, I didn't ask you for the money. Like I did this all by my big girl self. Don't judge me. And then I sent him the videos and I was like, this was worth every single penny.
Absolutely. 100%. I literally was my parents were like, "Oh, I want to see your videos." And I took a couple of videos cuz I was trying to be more like in the moment.
Yes.
And all of my videos are it's just me screaming at the top of my lungs and like just
like, are we kidding?
Stunning. Dude.
I was like, oh my God. The first night I was really, really good about being same thing. I put my phone on airplane mode on and off just to save battery. But I was really good about being in the moment. Like I didn't take barely any videos the first night. And then the second night, I was like, I literally can't help it.
Yeah, no, I knew the fact though that it's like I only wanted to record it for certain songs because also like I'm up high, like she's far away. These aren't gonna be good videos, but like if you're down in the front, like it's worth it to take those pictures and videos because they're worth it.
Yes, and, like, I was telling myself, I was like, "There's no way I'm gonna be able to, like, be calm," and I was like, "There are so many videos on TikTok, like, I don't need my own
That's
video."
what I was thinking too, yeah.
And then I was there and I was like, "Fuck it." And
Yeah.
I recorded the whole thing.
Yeah, no. And I mean, also, if you've gone to 2 shows, you know, you had, like, the opportunity to, like, sit and watch and then also record and, like, all this stuff. But, yeah.
I
I
know,
literally always say, I'm like, "How when am I ever gonna sit down and rewatch my concert videos?" Never, but, like, now I have them. You never know
yes.
when I need to be happy again, and I just have to watch
I
some.
like it, like, I don't even know why, just, like, when things come up in my memories and I'm like, "Oh my god, it's been 1 year since Taylor Swift," like, I just like that.
Yeah, me
Like,
too. I agree.
I had people in the comment section on TikTok be like, "What show did you prefer better?" And
Yeah,
I was like, there are so many pros and cons because obviously, like being on the floor, you're so close, like you do get to see her, but like also you don't get the full picture of
fair.
the concert. Like I said, the Bad Blood, she was on the other side of the stage. I didn't like there were moments where I was like, I don't even know where she is, and I was looking up at the big screen, but like when she was close, like right there, it was like unreal.
Yeah.
But then, like, she does such a good job, like the performance and like the production to her tours, the stage, like every detail is so beautiful. So when you're not like 100 level and up, like you get to see all of that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I was like I missed the water when she dives into the stage.
Oh,
Like there's so much that you don't get to see from that angle. So I was like, I'm glad I got to experience both because there were such pros and cons to both. But I was like, I couldn't pick. Like, and obviously just being there. Like when people say there's no bad seat, there really is no bad seat. I looked at like I was watching everyone's Instagram stories, every Snapchat, like everything. And even the people with an obstructed view, like in that corner, you could still see the whole walkout. I was like it's just amazing. I can't get over it.
yeah. No, it was the when she dives into, like, for those that don't know, the stage had a lot of, like, hidden compartments that would drop down that she would either go up or down on, or she'd go in to change or whatever, and basically after the surprise songs, it looks like there's, like, a shore on the big walkout and all this water, and she jumps into one of the holes, like, she dives, and it makes it look like a splash, and then it looks like she's swimming up the catwalk. I literally was like, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. Like, it was unreal how beautiful some of it was.
No, I couldn't get over it. And like, just like the costumes, like ever her dancers, like
Their
li-
dancers were so good. They were
literally so good.
amazing. Like, high praise for those people. Like, and to do that every night, like, or not every night, but like every weekend basically, like it's intense and it's they do so good every time. It's Oh my god. What was your, like, favorite era, like, as a whole? Like, if you were to pick one of those, like, sections of her albums, which one was your favorite?
It's so hard because like literally the whole thing
I
slapped.
know. It's
But
so hard to choose.
I didn't get to go to the Reputation Stadium tour. I went to 1989, Red, and
Speak now.
yes, thank you. I started in 1989 when I should have started the other way. But so I went to those three. I didn't get to go to Reputation. So the Reputation set list and the like everything that went into Reputation and just the vibes and like the stadium just felt like electrified. That was when everyone was like, I am the baddest bitch that ever
Yeah.
lived. Everyone had that energy. So I honestly would say Reputation for that. But I also want to give credit to Folklore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. Like it was the most like emotional, just like beautiful, like storytelling. It was everything.
If she ever did just, like, a Folklore set list, I would be, like, first in line.
Yes.
Because, like, while, again, the whole show was absolutely beautiful in every way, shape, and form, the second that she started with Folklore, I was like, "This is gonna change the course of my life right
Yes.
now," and because it's like all the songs she sang, and then she just what was also really great was that, like, she didn't sing full songs, like, she didn't sing the full song of Illicit Affairs, but she sang the bridge, and that's the most important part for us to hear live, you know what I mean? Like, it was when she started transitioning into that, and I was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, and the beachiness of it. I mean, that's also like my vibe. I'm very like beachy and blues and water, and like that's like totally like everything I love. So the fact that everything was like that on the screen, I was like, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. It was so gorgeous.
It was really, really just something spectacular. And my mom even said, because like she obviously has like Shake It Off and We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together. Like those
Right.
are more like poppy, and like they got so overplayed on the radio that they're songs that I rarely listen to
Yeah.
on my own, just because they did get so overplayed. Hearing them live,
Different.
oh my God. And now I'm like obsessed with them now because I don't know what it was. And like I heard We're Never Ever Getting Back Together on the Red Tour, but I don't know. There was something that like shifted in me. And I was
Yeah.
just like, these like go unnecessarily. I was crying. Are you ready for this? So obviously, the first night I was there, cried the moment the countdown started.
Yeah.
Majority of the show, like it was just like I like cried leading up to Reputation. It stopped for Reputation, and then I continued to cry after. I just like couldn't stop. And so the second night, I was like, all right, I think I got my emotions out. Like I don't think I'm gonna cry. I started crying during You Need to Calm Down. And I was like, what is happening to
The
me?
like literal least emotional song.
No, it like really is, but just like the whole stadium, like she never made anybody less gay. I was like,
Yeah.
I was just
Yeah.
like, this is so beautiful. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't know, every worker, minus the one security guard that got escorted out, every person that like the concession people, the security, the parking people, everyone was so nice. Did you have that experience?
I did because so first of all, when we got our tickets, like they were transferred to us, and then I think that the people that we got these tickets from were Eagles fans, so they had like a J lot like parking pass, something along like that's what we anticipated it was. So we pulled up to the J lot and we showed it to the guy, and the guy was like, "Yeah, this is not a parking pass." And we were like, what? Like, we didn't like we don't have any other preparation, like anything. And he was like, no, like you can't, like, I don't know what this is, but like you can't park here. And we were like, okay. And then the guy was just like, listen, there's this parking lot right across the street. I'm gonna stop traffic so that you guys can get over and you guys can pull in there. It's $35 to park. It was right in front of the Wells Fargo like center or
Yes,
whatever.
yes.
And yeah, so we pulled in there and he was just like, don't worry, like you can just pay with your credit card, just pay at the thing and they'll let you in. And I was like, I got so nervous that we were gonna have to like park and freaking,
Yeah.
who knows? And I was like, oh my God, like what are we? And it was so nice. And then when we got inside, I was like, I need to eat something because if I don't eat something, like it's gonna be not
Yeah.
good. And first of all, I was like, I got so excited the fact that I saw Chickies and Pete's, and I was like, I know that place. And then I was
Welcome
like, oh my
to
God.
Philly, baby.
Yeah, I was like, I am like fully immersed somehow in like Philly and like Eagles things
I'm
without
so proud.
without being at all affiliated with any of it except through you, which is so funny. But I walked up and I was just like, can I please have a hot dog and some French fries? And she was like, yeah. And then I got the crab fry, right? They're crab
Yes,
fries with the
yes.
Old Bay on it. And I was like, yes.
Did you love them?
And she was so yeah, oh I do. I mean, they're so good. But yeah, and the lady was so nice. She was like, "Of course you can." And I was like, "Thank you.
Oh
I
my
just
God.
need my hot dog."
Wait, I forgot. This is like a major story that I completely forgot to tell you from
Oh my
night
god.
one. I
Share.
cannot believe I haven't told you this yet. All right. So night one, we had the most perfect night. So like I said, I got suite tickets from
Mhm.
my friend's dad who works for TD Bank, and they just have a suite. So obviously they like diverse or dispersed tickets out like evenly through the people. So like everyone could bring their kids. Robbie's dad just gave us all of them so we could bring our sisters and everyone. And so we literally, but with the suite comes parking pass to one of the lots. So we pull into the lot, we take some pictures, we do some TikToks, we go from the lot up the escalator and into the suite. And we were in the suite the entire night, did not leave. Everything was there. So we have perfect night, whatever, everything's great. We're leaving. You're not ready.
Oh no.
We're leaving. We get back down to the car.
Oh no.
Robbie puts his hand in his pocket and goes, "My car key's not in here." And we said, "What do you mean it's not in there?" And Robbie's diabetics and he has a pump. So we said, "I know I put my key in with my pump so I could feel them both. Like they would just both be in the same place."
Right.
We're like, "Okay." And our friend Marissa was like, "No, I saw you lock your car and put it in there. So like I know you did." So
Yeah.
we were like, "All right." We didn't go anywhere else. So it must be up in the suite. When I tell you the entire Lincoln Financial Field is evacuating and we are trying to go back in, we get up and they tried to stop us. Like, "No, like we're exiting everyone. You have to stay out." And so we explained to them and they're like, "Oh my God, yeah, go up." Again, the nicest
So
group of
kind.
workers
Yeah.
ever. So they're like, "Oh my God, no big deal. Go up, go up." So we go up, we look, he is not in the suite. We like looked in every crevice. So we were like, "Oh my God." So then we went back to security and we were like, "Hey, my friend lost his car key. We have no way to get home." And they were like, "Go check guest services." So we go to guest services, nothing. Now it's like, and we looked outside and it was standstill traffic. So like we were like, we're not in a rush.
Yeah.
But we just like we're starting to get a little nervous. So I'm trying to call locksmiths. Again, every time I'm calling, my call is failing. Like I could not, like no one could hear me. The call would just end. And I was like, "Oh my God." So we're freaking out. And then Robbie's car is in one of the lots. So he's like, because at this point we were like, "We'll just Uber and deal with it tomorrow." But then
Right.
he's like, "What if my car gets ticketed or towed? And then I have to buy a new car key on top." So we were just like overwhelmed.
Oh
So
my
we go back
God.
to the car. Again, this just goes back to how freaking nice every single person at Lincoln Financial Field was. I see a man in like an orange parking shirt. So I go up and I explain to him the situation. And he goes, "Oh my God, no big deal." Takes a picture of Robbie's car, texts his license plate number to like the parking security and was like, "Do not do anything with this car. They lost their key. They're going to Uber home and they'll come back tomorrow." And then we told him, yeah, like we're actually coming back for the show tomorrow. And he was like, "Oh my God, then you guys have free parking for tomorrow." He was like,
Oh my God.
he goes, "Your car's in the lot. I'm not going to say anything." And I was like, "Oh my God." And long story short, after I just told the whole story, Robbie, we got his car towed to the car dealership,
So
cost
you never
45 for
found
the,
it.
what?
You never
Never
found
found
the
it.
key?
We have no idea where the key went. Never showed up.
What?
But we got the car towed and the dealership never gave him a spare. So they printed him a key for free. So like
God bless.
literally, like it was like so unfortunate that it happened, but like for a shitty situation, it ended up working out completely fine. And yeah, and it was all okay. But like there was a moment of like, "Oh no." And like our spirits were so high from the concert that like no one wanted to be negative. So we were like, "It's gonna be fine." And like it really was fine. We called an Uber. I drove us back the next day, like no big deal.
What was the Ubering like? Because there was like when we first of all, it didn't really take us that long to get home. It took us 30 minutes just to get out of the parking lot
Oh
though.
yeah.
Like that was the worst of the worst. But there were like people just like on the side of the road and like this and that. And I'm like, how are these people getting home? Like, how was the Ubering home? Because I feel like it would have been disastrous.
No, I think it wasn't awful, honestly. And I think
Really?
it's because we were at this point, it was like 45 minutes post concert because we were
That's
running around
fair.
so much. And there was still like we sat in the Uber for another 20, 25 minutes just to like get onto the bridge. And once we got onto the bridge, smooth sailing back to Jersey. But no, it was expensive. It was like $120 Uber, but there was
I can
five of
imagine.
us. So I was like, "I'll put it on my card." We just split it. So really like it wasn't that bad. And finding him, so I ordered the Uber and it said like 6 minutes away. Immediately he calls me and he was like, "I'm in standstill traffic, but I'm right out front of Xfinity Live. If you guys don't mind, you can just walk, meet me, get in the car, and then we'll just sit." And I was like, "Perfect." So that's what we did. And it ended up being fine. But I don't know, like I can't even imagine like when concert just ends, if you leave and are trying to find an Uber, I can't even imagine what it would have been like because like I said, this was like at minimum of a half hour out. I think it was closer to like 45 minutes.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It was crazy. And there was still standstill traffic. The second night, because we had the car already in the parking lot, when we were trying to leave, we were stuck in the parking lot for an hour of like nothing, no movement, like just waiting.
Yeah. The thing was that when we were parked in that lot that man so graciously told us to pull into, we literally just had to get out, and then we did like a little loop and we got right on 95. Like it was right
Okay.
there. So I was like, we just have to get out. I cannot stress enough how much people do not know how to drive when they're in a parking lot. It's like all education of how you were taught how to drive just completely goes out the window
Oh my God. It
when
was so scary.
people are literally no one's looking. Everybody is just like free for alling, and
I know what
it
you
was
meant.
just it was just insane. And Erin is the sweetest person you'll ever meet, but she has major road rage. So, and we're in the car, and this person, like, there was like a line of cars, like, trying to get out, and we were all trying to merge together to leave.
Mhm.
And this person gets out of the line and, like, speeds up to, like, cut basically everyone off. And Erin just freaking, she goes, no, fuck you, fuck you, and just starts screaming. And she was like, you didn't even fucking look. She's screaming. And I'm literally sitting there. We bought a whole thing of snacks to like eat in the car because we knew we were going to be hungry. I just have this big bag of chips on my thing, and I'm just like, and she's just screaming. And then she was like, give me a chip. And I was like, here you go.
That's what me and Robbie were in the car. We did not like when I tell you the only thing we brought, I had going into the concert, I had my phone and I had my ID and my card in the back of my phone case. And that was the only thing I walked in with. And in our cars, like we brought nothing.
Oh
So we're in
no.
my car and in our parking lot, I don't know how, but like the back half of the parking lot was like empty. So everyone you just see like there were two lines forming that like
Mhm.
met here and it was like they merged. But then because this whole section was empty, all of a sudden people just started filling that in. So all of a sudden there was now just like it was like a legit pile up. And like
Yeah.
then there were cars that like weren't even in one of those lines. They were like in between two. And I'm sitting there in like my little Honda Civic and I was like, oh no. And there's like a Escalade next to like this, and it's a father driving, and he keeps inching and
Yep.
inching. And I literally looked out my window and I was like, please stop. Like, you'll get there when you get there. I was like, you're scaring me. Like,
Yeah.
calling at his father, and he's like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it was mayhem. And like the amount of people and the lines trying to get into, like, oh my God, it was just absolutely insane. I don't think, and I've been to stadium tours, like I've been to MetLife, I've seen Taylor Swift at MetLife, but this was like a different breed. It
I
really
also
was.
I also think that part of the issue was because it was a stadium, 70,000 people sold out crowd, and then there were 20,000 people outside of the stadium that couldn't get tickets.
There
Yes.
were 20,000 people outside.
So the first night there was about 3 to 4,000. Second night there was 20. The third night there was about 45, 50,000 people outside of Lincoln Financial Field just dancing, drinking, listening to Taylor.
What? How did those many people stay? Like, how did
No,
they do that?
literally I need to pull it up. Like I need to show you because
Like in the streets, in the
yes.
parking lots?
No, Sam, it was like
Holy
literally
shit.
I don't know what should I search like crowd outside. Oh
Yeah,
wait,
maybe.
literally, I did crowd out and it said crowd outside Philly.
Oh my. Holy shit. I didn't
That was
even know.
that was outside of our show.
Oh my God.
So it was a sold out crowd. She performed to 100,000 people easy.
That's insane.
Like hello. And it went all that's one side of the stadium. It was
Yeah, and then it wraps around.
like
Oh my God.
insane. So that's
Jeez.
I think played into traffic being so awful because like we were all trying to leave the parking lots, but like they were also leaving parking lots.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's insane. I did not know that. I did
Yeah.
not know that.
No,
It's
and I thought, oh my God, no, I'm gonna cry again thinking about it. During, you know how during Marjorie everyone put their flashlights on?
yes. Oh my God, I just
Even
got chills just thinking
right,
about it.
right. Even the people outside. put their flashlights on. And there was someone who must have been like on one of the corner seats where if she looked over, like you could see like a little group of the outside people. No, you're not ready. You're not ready. So she recorded them and she was like, oh my God, even the people outside had their flashlights on. And then someone commented on the TikTok and said, oh my God, you guys could see us with the crying emoji. And Sam, I will never recover. I'm never going to be the same.
Literally when and like I knew that that was like an emotional song like when she was going to sing it, so when she started singing it and like it was like really beautiful to see like everything. And then at one point I feel like she was like, you know, she was saying like, I feel like you're singing with me now. And I feel like at one point like the wind picked up and I was literally like, oh my God, like the presence, the atmosphere. I was like, I feel like this like it was just I can't even put into words how I felt after that. And I was just like, this is unreal. It was
No, it was
unreal.
beautiful. And I saw some people like questioning why she was singing it. And I get it that the song like is so personal to her, but also it isn't. Like anyone that's
Yeah,
ever lost someone relates
absolutely.
to that song.
I literally like I still have both of my grandmothers right now and I still felt like insanely tied to that song. Like
It,
it's beautiful.
it really is. And then her finally admitting to me that she
That
is
she's an
a Eagles
Eagles.
fan. I have never felt that's my peak. Like I'm never gonna be this like that. Like I'm gonna get married one day. I'm gonna have kids one day, and I'm gonna be like, I will never forget where I was when I was in my Eagles stadium listening to Taylor Swift. Once she said, "Oh my God," when my dad would watch Eagles games here, I was like, "Oh my God!"
Yeah.
And then too, when she was like, "Guys, of course I'm from Philly. Like, it's of course it's about the team." Oh my God, like I'm never gonna be the same. That's all. These are my two favorite things in the
There's
history of ever.
literally like there's two things that Jordyn talks about the most in this world, and it's Taylor Swift and the Eagles, and now they are like completely overlapped and it's insane. It's insane. And you know what else? The after Champagne Problems, when everyone just started screaming and then she took her earphones out and we just kept getting louder and louder and louder. I was literally like, this is the most insane thing I've ever been a part of. Like I don't think I've ever been surrounded by that much noise in my life.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
ever.
I saw so many kids like covering their ears, and I was like, good, because I mean, it was, and then she just like giggles and she's like, I personally loved that.
Yeah, yeah. I
We
mean, could you imagine
love
though? Could you imagine standing on a stage and then all of these people are just like basically just like bringing themselves up to just cheer you on. Like imagine how that feels.
also imagine being her parents. Like I
Don't even get me started on
like
those people.
they are just such angels.
They're so like they created a absolute first gem of a person, talented, gorgeous, beautiful,
Brilliant.
fantastic. We could go on. We
One.
could go on. And like they are just so like humble and down to earth and like obviously her and her mother went through her the whole thing with when she was sick and like it's just ah
No, it's
ah
it
did
like
you see videos of her dad recording on his phone? Like
as if
you
you're
don't
talking.
need to do that.
No, wait, speaking of, this is like so related, but so unrelated. I saw a TikTok the other day of an MLB player. I can't remember what team it was, but his mom, he was going up to bat, and his mom was like a couple rows behind home plate, and she's filming. And he goes up and he goes, Mom, there are people that are going to do that. You don't have to. And she goes, but I have my phone.
Yeah.
And it was the cutest thing I've ever seen.
So
And it reminds
cute.
me like of like Scott and Andrea just being like, oh my God. And then Andrea just like singing along. And I'm like, oh
So just all around 10 out of 10 experience. I
my God.
just found out that there's a Capital One cafe in Manhattan that apparently if you go there, like the next couple of days, you can enter for a chance to win tickets to the MetLife shows. Like
Don't tell
I
me
don't
that.
know.
Get
I
on a bus in Manhattan right now.
I think it's today for, like, the next 3 days. So, like, you go to the, like, Capital One cafe and, like, try to get tickets to the MetLife shows.
All right, I'm going to Manhattan tomorrow. No, but I do. My sister who was with me for the first night, she is so far, like, she doesn't really get like obsessed with like anything. Like, it's very rare for her.
Right.
I don't know. She has like hyper fixations, but she's not a big like fan. Like, I'm a fangirl. Like, if I love
Right.
something, I get it. Like, my whole life revolves around it. She's very like, I like things and I like this, but like not obsessive. And when I tell you, like, obviously she wanted to go to, she grew up with Taylor Swift, loves Taylor Swift, wanted to go to the concert. And we left and she literally looked at me and she was like, that was the best thing she's like, I need to see it again. She was like, like it, like I saw it in her eyes, and I was like, sis, I know. Like, I saw that moment for her, and like that just made me like
Yeah.
crazy. And I was like, that just shows, because like obviously, like me and you are huge fans. Me and Robbie, huge fans. Like, we obviously we're gonna be so obsessed, but to see even the people that like don't normally go crazy,
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, the same thing with Erin. Like, Erin is not a Swiftie. Like, she just happens to know Taylor Swift songs, and like we went together. And the fact that like there were times where she would just like look over at me and she'd be like, "What the fuck?"
Yes.
Like, holy shit. And like there were times where like we grabbed each other, and like I was like having my moments and she was just like there for me while I was like freaking out during This Love, because I got to hear This Love live, and that's like the most insane thing in my, like, insane. And I was like, the fact that these people, like, again, like you said, aren't like huge Taylor Swift fans, but just that's the effect that this tour is having, is that people are literally having such an amazing time and an amazing experience that it's literally one of the best shows I think that will ever
Oh,
be.
I have a feeling like our kids are going to be like, "Oh my God, were you at Eras?" And I'm going to
Yeah.
be like, I'm going to tell my kids like I was at the Eras store. Like, it's like it's going to be that kind of moment. I feel it. I feel it.
That's why I like needed, I mean, we all, everyone needs to go to the show, but like
Yeah.
that's how like I needed to go to the show. It's like I missed Reputation. I didn't see Speak Now, like I didn't get those opportunities to see that. And I'm like, if I don't even see Taylor Swift for the rest of my life, I will be happy that I at least saw her for this tour, because it's like once in a lifetime type of tour, I think.
No, it really is. And like, I don't, this feels so crazy, but like, I like miss her. Like, cause she
Yeah.
has such like, and it's so obviously like she doesn't know us personally, like obviously, but she just has such a deep connection with her fans, and like the inside jokes that like the audience has with her while she's performing, like all this,
Yeah.
like, and she loves it. And she knows, like, even Gold Rush, like when she was like, I've seen the debate, like she listens to us. And like, I don't know. It's just like, I feel like artists don't.
The 22 hat kid was
Yeah.
Michael from TikTok, who created the Bejeweled dance, was
Yes.
at our show. Like, that just goes to show too. She saw this kid make a dance on TikTok and she incorporated it into her choreography for the tour.
She gave him the tickets. Like she said, like she gave him the tickets. And then obviously when we found out that he was going, me and Robbie were like, he needs to get the 22 hat. Like, anyone in this audience, like, she's literally using his dance on stage. And then when she was giving him the hat, she literally did the,
Could you imagine being so seen? I would feel so seen.
no.
Like, I was like, I'm done. I finished.
If I ever in my life like meet her, I don't care what the circumstances are. I will not be able to play it cool. Like, I will just lose. Also, did you see how many famous people were there this weekend?
Was it really? I mean, I knew Matt Healy was there, but
Yes.
that's about it.
Maddie was there, Gigi Hadid, who's been there, Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, Jennifer Lawrence, Nicole Kidman, and Keith Urban.
What? Oh, why did she not bring out Keith Urban? What the heck?
Right, he was there night 3.
Oh my God, they should have said That's When.
Right? And that's when fucking slapped so hard.
Oh, cannot believe that.
Yeah, but
What
no.
was so funny was that I saw like the fact that they were like Matt Healy. Does he normally play with Phoebe Bridgers?
I think that started, I don't know. I think she started opening in Nashville, but yeah, like whenever she started opening for Taylor, like he just like plays with her. And it's so like you can tell her band, like they each have a microphone, like they each have a spot. Like he's just like up there in the skeleton outfit, just like vibing.
Yeah. I mean, we also didn't mention the fact that we got nothing new.
Yeah.
Like that was a moment. Like not everybody gets nothing new.
Right.
And
Right.
that was I was like, this is not happening. Like she's just talking about Phoebe Bridgers. Like this isn't happening. This isn't happening. And she's like, I'm gonna bring her out. And I was like, no, you're not. No, you're not. We're not getting nothing new right now. That's not happening. And then it happened.
It went from nothing new into the all too well 10-minute version. I was like,
yeah.
how do you expect me to live after this?
Yes. Oh, just.
I will say, both nights I could not help myself. Other than All Too Well is like it's the Rolling Stone literally named it like the best song of this decade. Like
Yeah,
it is
no, it's
on a
amazing.
whole nother tier. It is a masterpiece.
Yes.
But like other than All Too Well, my favorite Taylor Swift song ever is Champagne Problems. Just
Yes.
because like the time it came out, I connected like so intensely to it. And I literally was like, this fucking bitch wrote this for me.
Yeah.
So I had like and it's just a beautiful, beautiful song. And I remember when it came out, I was like, oh my God, I want to curse with Taylor Swift. Like I want to curse while she's singing this live. I want to be there. And the second the piano started, it was like, because I cried throughout the show. This was another level. This was like hyper, like tears, like what I'm saying, she's sucked in the head, like hyperventilating, ugly crying. And I was like, okay, I got that out. And then I was like, night two, I'm going to be fine. No, it was just as bad. It's just like, I don't know. It's just like the presence of her being there and like hearing it live. I was like, oh my God.
It was just so beautiful. And the screen was beautiful. And the stage was beautiful. And she was beautiful. And everything was just beautiful. And I just I'm just very thankful that I got to be a part of that and seen it. I could have been like last row, like all the way up in the nosebleeds, and I would have been like thankful that I am here.
Yeah, no, I am, because I know there are so many people that like would do anything, like, and just unfortunately Ticketmaster freaking sucks. Didn't
Yeah.
plan it well. I also just think demand was too high. So I know there are so many people that like didn't get to experience it, and I'm just so grateful because I mean, it was just it's just like I'm so thankful. That's all I have to say. I'm so thankful.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we could just like keep going on and on. We've talked for about 45 minutes about the Eras tour. We
It's
also like we have not had conversation yet. Like
no,
this is our first time talking to each other about this, which is why we're kind of
this is
going
our
on.
debrief. If you expected anything else in this episode, I am so sorry. You are literally getting nothing.
Yeah.
Like this is a full Eras tour recap.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is.
Or hold on, not full. I mean, it's still going to be Taylor Swift, but did you see all the videos today that she threw a party in New York City yesterday that is giving strong? I'm re-releasing 1989 very, 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 very soon. Do you want to hear what I've learned?
Yes.
Okay, so right before Philly, remember those pictures dropped of her and Maddie Healy out in
Yes.
New York, and they were like holding hands. They were on like that rooftop bar
With
restaurant.
Jack.
Yes.
Mhm.
So you know how for the Eras tour, she had one. I did my nails sparkly midnights for
They're
the tour.
beautiful.
Thank you. But for the tour, she paints her nails, each nail a different era. When she was out with Maddie Healy and Jack in New York right before Eras tour, her nails were a 1989 powder blue. And I was like, okay, interesting. Pop off queen.
Yeah.
Then she throws this party in New York after just wrapping up in Philly. Kendrick Lamar was there. She was wearing an NYU crew neck with like a skirt and like sneakers or flats, something. Like the whole vibe was giving 1989. Also, there was this whole theory that like Maddie was carrying around like a keyboard in this Louis Vuitton bag.
Okay.
It was like very detailed. I don't know if he was, but like if he was, apparently that's like the same kind of sound that like 1989 would have. So like there's so much pointing to 1989. And also this time last year, she dropped Speak Now and 1989 merch on the same day, like at the same time. So I still think Speak Now is going to have its moment, but I do think we are getting a 1989 announcement super soon, and it's going to come out like a couple months after Speak Now.
I mean, just the fact that we've gotten Wildest Dreams and This Love Taylor's version without even getting the album yet is just goes like it's done. It's ready to go. It's just
Yes. I think
when
they're
we're gonna
all
get it. Yeah, they're all finished. It's
yeah.
just a matter of when we're gonna get them.
Yes. And I know, like, at first I was so confused. I was like, just drop them. But now I've learned, like, there's so much that goes into, like, with the Grammys and the awards, like, certain things have to come out. So, like, I understand how she's trying to, like, map it because I'm sure she wants Midnights to be eligible for all awards. And I don't know what category, I don't know if Speak Now will be this year or next year. I'm not that educated in, like, the dates. But I'm sure like she wants Midnights, like she wants to make sure that has its moment. And then I think the other re-recordings, but I also think that we're gonna get at least the dates or announcements for all the, I guess I should say the 3 remaining before the tour is over, because then I think she's gonna close the door on like eras.
Gotcha.
That's my theory. I mean, I'm down to hear all theories because I love speculating, but
I also just think like I don't think our brains will be able to process if we get all of them either at the same time or back to back or like things like I just when Fearless came out, I was like, all right, I don't want anything else because I just want to focus on Fearless. And then eventually Red came out and I was like, okay, that was a good substantial amount of time for me to now transition to Red to like, you know what I mean? Like, because it does come out with new songs and like you want to like bask in them for a second. But if you get too many songs, it's like, how do you process, you know?
So I think Speak Now is going to have, oh no, Speak Now is going to have 6. I think 1989 is going to have, oh wait, no, wait, what one was it? There was one album where there was like so many vault tracks, and it was one, I can't remember, maybe it was Reputation, but there was one that had like so many, and I was like, oh my God. Not vault tracks, but just like songs that like didn't make the album. And obviously we're not going to get all of them, but like I don't know. I think you're right. I think it would be way too overwhelming to get them all.
Like it's like what do you focus on? How do you distinguish? I think that I would rather have it all spaced out too because it just makes me process my emotions better.
Wait, do you want to hear something so embarrassing?
Of course, I always want to hear something so embarrassing.
I looked at my my like I'm an Apple Music person, so I looked at my Apple good. I looked at my Apple replay for so far for this year. This is just like my top 10 songs that I've listened to. The top 9 are all from Midnights.
Yeah.
And then I have one Morgan Wallen at number 10, and then it goes into all Taylor again. I was like, oh my God. So I need to like expand my music taste just a little bit. Like she's literally all I listen to.
Well, what was funny was that like on I think it was Friday, I was like, okay, like I'm in full Taylor mode. I'm gonna see Taylor tomorrow and like all this stuff. And then the Jonas Brothers released their album on Friday, and I was like, I do not have the mental capacity to listen to this right now. Like I cannot. And I listened to it once just fully through, and I was like, all right, this is vibey. It's very summery, very vibey. I really like it. And then today, actually, like I listened to it like twice fully through, and I was like, okay, now I can start focusing in on different things now that the show is over, and I can like kind of get a vibe for things because I was just listening to Taylor Swift for a very long time. But there are a lot of good music out there. Like I have just like other, like, let me tell you, and I know I've talked to you about this, the SZA album that came out, like, was that earlier this year? I don't even remember when it came out. That is a work of art. And like it is just so good. So if you're ready to start finding different music,
For SZA,
I would start with the SZA album. It is just so good. I love listening to it. I love listening to it in order. It's just good. It's just good music. It's a vibe. And she puts out like different types too. there's so many things. But yes, I've been full in on Taylor for weeks now, and I'm like, okay, I need to listen to something else because I'm gonna get sick of it, and I don't want to get sick of it. So
Like I just like I'm like actually unwell. Also, I saw imagine if freaking Joe Jonas and Sophie go to the Eras tour and then Taylor's because you know how she was like, oh, I got this request. Like I'm gonna play this request for her surprise song. Imagine she's like, oh, I got this request from my friend Sophie, and it's Mr. Perfectly Fine.
Mr. Perfectly Fine. She would do that too. Like Sophie Turner, when that song came out, she was just like, "You piece of shit."
She was like, "This is." She's like, "I don't care. This is a bop."
Literally, her husband and the father of her children. She was like, "Wow, screw you, Taylor Swift forever." And I was like, "That is such a vibe. It's
No,
such a vibe."
Joe Jonas at this point, not when they first broke up. Now, Joe Jonas, sacred ex. Taylor Lautner will always be a sacred ex.
Did you see the interview? Like someone like asked him, they were like, "How are you feeling about Speak Now coming out?" Because obviously Back to December is all about Taylor Lautner. And the interviewer was like, "Oh, we'll just move on to the next question." He's like, "No. He's like, I'm really excited. It's great. Like, and the song about me is really nice. Like, not too many people get nice songs." And I was like, "Yes, Taylor. Yes."
I
It
think
was
it's
so
so
nice.
I also think it's so funny that he ended up
Marrying a Taylor. Yes, it's Mr. and Mrs. Taylor and Taylor Lautner.
Freaking amazing.
Yeah, no, we love. I would probably cry if she brought out like Joe Jonas or the Jonas Brothers for what was the song they sang together originally? Should have said no. Have you
Yes.
seen that clip? Oh
Yes.
my god, if they came out and sang that with her, I would simply just be like, I should no longer be living this. I can't believe I missed this. This is terrible.
Well, all right. Before this will be our final closing thoughts before we log off. Not Taylor Swift related, but hardcore music fangirl related. Do you think you're getting a One Direction? I think. Did you see Harry sang?
Let me tell you, I am a what before. I mean, I used to love Taylor Swift growing up. I went to Fearless. I went to Red. One Direction. I'm wearing a Harry Styles shirt right now. I don't know if you could tell, but it says "Dip You in Honey So I Could Be Sticking to You," which is Harry Styles' song "Daylight." I loved One Direction. Like I was like that kid in school. Like people were like, "Oh, it's One Direction related. Go ask Sam." Like I was so deep into it. I was like a Tumblr queen. One Direction. You have no idea. Like the way like I love Taylor Swift, but I feel like you are much deeper into Taylor Swift than I am. That's how I was about One Direction.
See, we're flipped because I loved One Direction, saw them in concert, like listened to them, but I wasn't like crazy in the fandom.
I was hardcore, hardcore into it. I used to own a shirt that said "I ship Larry Stylinson" on it, and I would like wear it out in public like a crazy person because I was so sold on the fact that Harry Styles and Louis Tomlinson were dating. So like that's how deep I was.
I still think there was something.
There were definitely 100% something there. I mean, I could get into this, but we have already been talking for an hour. We might need to come back around to One Direction chat next week because I could go on. But there has been times where everybody's following each other again. Liam just came out and said that they just started a new group chat, all 5 of them, including Zayn. Like they are like and like they keep asking like, "Oh, are you getting a reunion going?" And Liam's like the one with the loose lips. Like he's just like he would be like, "Sure," and everybody would lose their shit. But he was just like, "Yeah, we started a new group chat." And we were like, "What? What do you mean you started a new group chat?" That's like
Harry at his concert sang the best day ever.
He sang Stockholm Syndrome, which is so
what?
And then like all of their siblings, like Louis' sisters, Harry's sister, everybody's sister is posting. You know the guy with the sign, the Instagram? Yeah. He posted like we want a One Direction reunion. They're all reposting that on their stories. I don't know what's about to happen. I don't know what's coming, but something is coming. And when it does, I am literally going to lose my shit.
I don't know if they're going to release new music as One Direction, but I feel like they may do like a One Direction like reunion, like an Eras tour but for One Direction.
If they did that, that's when I would spend $750 on floor seats. That's when I would do that. I would not miss that for the entire freaking world. I saw One Direction twice, and both times was when 5 Seconds of Summer opened up for them, which is a big deal. I have that freaking Millennial Hall
You
pass.
love 5 Seconds of Summer as well.
I love 5 Seconds of Summer. I'm seeing them in August at Madison Square Garden. I've seen 5 Seconds. Believe it or not, 5 Seconds of Summer, I've seen the most out of any artist. I think this is going to be my 6th time seeing them. So, like, I adore 5 Seconds of Summer. They are wonderful. But One Direction and 5 Seconds of Summer opening up for them was like an elite time to be a teenager. And I saw them both times at MetLife Stadium. One was at MetLife, one was at Hershey. Oh my God. Just, I I can't even put into words how I would feel if One Direction came back together, because again, we were supposed to, that happened, they broke up. I was in college and I was like, oh God, like this is not good. Like I was literally unwell. And the fact that it was supposed to be 18 months and that was back when I was in college, it's been years. I'm dying.
It's been years. I feel like they needed the break though, and it does, like the way that, I don't know, this is just the first time that I've seen them all, like even just like talking about One Direction and talking about each other. Like, I don't know, I feel like there's enough, and this is from a crazy Swiftie that speculates and falls into every theory for One Direction. I feel like there's enough Easter eggs that something, maybe it'll be like a Jonas Brothers thing where they do a couple night, but like something is coming. Like they're gonna do something.
And I'm gonna lose my freaking mind. And I'm on One Direction TikTok too, so I get like all the inside scoops on everything because I need to know. Oh my God.
I'm on Harry TikTok.
Harry Styles. I just saw Harry Styles at his New York City residency last summer, which was amazing. I've been dying to see. No, I'm a Niall girl. Okay. I've always been a Niall.
So Spencer.
Always been a Niall girl. He's coming out with a new album like this, I think next month, and I'm like waiting for him to announce that he's going on tour. Like, so if they came together and sang One Direction songs again, anytime Harry Styles comes out and sings One Direction songs, I'm like, something's happening. Yeah. And then nothing happens. But that would be, the hole in my heart would be filled. There's a tiny little hole missing, and it's the One Direction hiatus. And one day it'll get filled again. And hopefully that time is soon.
I am like rooting for it for you at this point. Cause like I would love it. Like I would love it, but like you need it. I want it for you.
Thank you. No, that would be, again, One Direction concerts were so much fun. Like it was just a bunch of girls just jumping around, screaming, losing their minds. And then talk about eras. They went through eras too. And my favorite era was the frat boy era, when they all wore backwards snapbacks and like muscle tees, and they were just tan and like hot, and oh God.
What was the second album?
The second album?
Yeah.
It was first album, Take Me Home. Take Me Home.
Was that the black and white with the red?
Yeah.
No. Oh, what's that?
That's Midnight Memories. That's like their third album.
Okay, that was my favorite.
It's a phenomenal album.
Okay.
No, yeah, Take Me Home was the one with the telephone pole, the telephone box.
Yes.
And then Midnight Memories is black and white, and then 4, and then Made in the AM. So there's 5 albums.
Little Black Dress was on Midnight
Memories.
Yeah, no, that song, that was in like my top 20 songs of last year. I like I said, like I was a fan of One Direction, but not like a super, like I listened to them.
Bangers.
Yes. That song still has, like when I want to feel like a little slutty, like I play a black dress. And I'm like, I want a man to like seduce me in a little black dress. Like
literally, people don't know how seductive and disgusting One Direction songs are.
Sex all the time.
Literally, all they talk about is sex. It is the funniest thing in the world.
It's just in like a lighthearted poppy sound, so it doesn't sound as dirty.
Have you ever heard the song Temporary Fix? It's literally about how he's like, whenever you need me, like, I got you. Like, basically, booty call me whenever you need me because I would die for you kind of deal.
We're going to end this episode and I'm going to go listen to it.
Yeah. Oh my God. And it goes so hard too. Oh, and I could go on about the sexual innuendos. I think we need to bring back One Direction next week and have like a full blown like discussion about it because people need to be
I'm
educated.
going to do research and I'm going to be ready and I'm so excited.
Also, before we log off, I know people who maybe have been listening to all of the episodes. I got my engagement photos back and they came out great.
They came out beautiful.
We are so hyped. Like it was, and you guys know, recap, I was 45 minutes late to the shoot. I was frazzled. It was horrible. I thought that all of them were going to come out terrible. They came out beautiful, and I am completely blessed to have a wonderful photographer. Like, God bless.
No, when I tell you I saw it come up on my Instagram and this was literally my reaction. Wait, I'll give you a visual.
Okay.
I was like, shut the fuck up.
I literally have like a new background on my phone now, but anybody who obviously doesn't follow me on Instagram, I'll just show you. This is my new favorite picture of me and my soon-to-be husband with these beautiful cherry blossom trees. Amazing.
Exquisite. Oh my God. Well, what an episode. Guys, I promise we will stop talking about Taylor Swift eventually. Probably not, but we're going to try. And we have updated our social handles. Finally, there is some unison. Find us on TikTok and Instagram at the _podcast. Find us on Twitter at Sam and Jordyn. Make sure to give us a rating and a review on all streaming podcast platforms. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to us on YouTube. Check all boxes for us. We love you so much, and we'll be back next week. Bye, guys.